We open in a male prison, where most inmates are working out. It is not long before a very loud alarm goes off, all fences and gates close, and everyone needs to go back to the cells. An inmate extorted Sam, a prison guard, to smuggle contraband to him. He blackmailed him into doing so, telling Sam that they would eventually end in the same prison, and when they did, he would lose control. Sam felt threatened, went to attack the inmate, and was severely beaten up, ending up with a cut on his face. When he is later taken to the doctor to check for a concussion and give him stitches, Sam is asked what happened by Tim and other guards. He lies and says the inmate was giving him trouble for the past week. According to him, he only asked the inmate to go back into his cell. But that triggered an uncooperative response from this particular prisoner. He says Sam asked again for the inmate to get off, but when he didn't comply, Sam pushed him, causing the prisoner to grab Milo and headbutt him in self-defense. To protect himself, Sam hit the inmate with a nightstick. Inmates agree that Sam will be moved to the tower. A few days pass and we find Sam on the roof. He sees unusual activities in the yard and takes a telescope, which is aimed towards the prison fence. A fight breaks out. Third, the inmates who convince Sam to slam on that red emergency alarm 3 flash by his guards grab their tear gas and stage along the roof. During the melee, tear gas hits several inmates. As the battle eventually rages, guards open fire with warning shots. One such volley causes inmates to fall to the ground, and as they lie on their bellies, officers witness 2 other inmates stomping a black inmate so viciously that an officer accidentally fires into his leg. The guards, fully protected, come into the yard and start handcuffing them one by one, while Sam is still on top of the roof, realizing his mistake. While Warden Mills and guards Ed Simmons and Tim talk about the shooting, Tim defends Sam. And Gordon Mills barked angry questions asking why Sam was in the tower and where he should be dispatched next. As Tim explains, following the incident when Sam was attacked and injured, it seemed logical that they must keep him away from prisoners. The appropriate way forward could be for Ed to recommend Sam's reassignment to the receiving or discharge department or to drive the perimeter. While Tim appears to keep dissuading it, he also casts suspicion on reassigning their caseworker. However, the warden informs that Sam was to be transferred to the women's compound immediately and orders a lockdown. The scene follows the storyline after Sam has been transferred to the women's prison and steps out to the side to let female inmates through, who begin bombarding him with initiatives and even animatedly holding onto their chests or suggesting they need to look for an inmate who is hiding. Cherry enters the classroom desks as Sam takes note of her. Miriam McCluskey picks up on the foppish frolics between Sam and Cherry as above and asks who it was that sent Sam's to women's prison. He clarifies that it was his own protection from an incident at the male prison. Mayim tells him that the women in a prison are just as bad and will try to play with you during one of her lessons on human evolution. Sam is up at the back of the classroom in a break room waxing poetic. Cherry watches Sam in her mirror. The guards compare and contrast the labor of men's maximum security prison with that of women. Today was like a vacation compared to the men's prison. It was an actual jungle, laughs. The other guards tell him to wait and see what happens once the women have gone back inside their quarters for bed. They inform him that prisoners will weep, invent tales to get his ear and gripe about officers observing them while they strip down. They detail the specific risks at this all-women's prison and tell Sam he has to follow every single bedtime rule like a robot. Going cell by cell, they finally find an inmate in possession of a contraband phone. He is then told to go lock up the next cell, where he finds Cherry reading a magazine in her bed. He asks her if she's okay. And this is when we touch base on how she was doing the night before. She consented to say yes, and then asked that Cherry's cell be shut away when he finished his work. The next day, we see Sam standing by the door as inmates file in. An inmate shoves Cherry into him on purpose only for her to grab hold of his Jacobs, while adding, "I'll be coming later tonight." One lady guard says to him, "Get your head out of his fucking queue, or else those ladies in there will use that against you so quick, it would make my tits spin." The night of the escape, as Sam tells inmates to turn off their bunk lights, he goes up beside Cherry's cell and finds her flashing. He cannot peel his eyes of hers. They burn into him and move Nikki in complicated ways. What they don't realize is that the camera records everything. The following day, when he enters the control room and Cherry starts behaving strange as he gets closer. She steps in a flank wound so she can be led to the infirmary, but once on her way, pulls Sam into an unmanned camera-free area under the landing of some stairs that seems popular with making out. Sam tries to say no but fails in what might be the worst 5-second stretch for his leadership expertise yet. They talk about Uganda, and then Cherry goes all preying on us. Mantis stabs Sam into the neck a few times and yells for help, so it looks like he attacked her and she had to defend herself. And she goes to the stairs, where apparently she crawls on her hands and knees with a little bit of screaming for help. Because if he takes care of maybe that not trying to kill someone so much in front of security guard is killed as justified. What we do know is that Sam was new to the prison, and he may have been naive about its dangers in a way the more seasoned and desensitized local inmates were. Thanks for watching.